Howdy, folks, and welcome back to Fate Extra CCC. Today we'll be starting Chapter 1. Last time we finished the prologue, so let's get into the actual story now. Chapter 1. Backyard of Eden, Subordination Garden. This is the story of a girl. From the time she awoke, she had been tied with mythology. Heavy chains all around her. Wrapped from head to toe, she was bound like a sort of mummy. That's not freedom, so they pitied. There's no freedom, so she rejoiced. Her iron dress was impenetrable. Behind her opal-cast gates is what lies within a maiden or a fiendish trap. It is said that the secrets of others taste like honey. So let's see. Stable brain waves confirmed. Alpha waves, beta waves normal. He's waking up. Can you hear me right now? Please, open your eyelids slowly and carefully. I hear a familiar voice. My hazy vision and consciousness come back to me, spurred on by the voice that's concerned about me. My heavy eyelids open. It looks like an infirmary. An old-fashioned infirmary I've never seen on Seraph, in a style that no longer exists on the surface. I am lying on a bed right now. Beside me is a girl in a white robe checking up on me. I think her name was... That's right. Her name was Sakura, an AI in charge of managing the health of masters. I don't really understand what's going on yet, but it seems Sakura has been taking care of me. And in place of a greeting, I say, "Thank you." For some reason, Sakura is making a really curious expression. Is there something weird on my face? Oh no, I'm sorry, it's nothing. There's nothing you need to worry about, Kishinami. I don't quite know why, but when I heard your voice, my mind went blank for a moment. You've been in your sleeping state for longer than anyone else. In any case, I'm glad you're awake. Your avatar may still feel sluggish, but it'll soon return to its original state. You should be able to walk around soon. Sakura gave me a smile full of joy and relief from the bottom of her heart. I can't help but let my tension go. I feel like I had just had some sort of nightmare, but that smile alone blew all of my anxieties away. But no, I can't just stare at Sakura's beautiful smile forever. Where am I? And why in the world was I sleeping here? Your questions are understandable, but before that, allow me to confirm a few things. Akano Kishinami, do you know who you are? Do I know who I am? I don't need to think too hard for that one. I'm Akano Kishinami, a student attending Tsugumihara Academy, but not quite. I'm one of the wizards who came to the moon to attain the rights to the wish-granting Holy Grail. So, can you tell me what the Magus is? I wonder why Sakura's asking. Isn't that considered the most basic of basics? Wizards, magi, are a special type of hacker capable of having their selves, their souls, enter cyberspace. The body is something that grounds the soul. So if the body and soul could be differentiated, wouldn't it be possible to send it elsewhere? That occult-like approach led to a new age in the transmission of information. Of those hackers, the A-rank hackers among them were conferred the title of wizard. That's correct. In an era where magic has ceased to be, they are the only ones who've inherited theories of magic. By the way... Oh yeah, I think that Sakura is just slowly losing her Italian accent. By the way, can you tell me what year it is, and where we are right now? You don't even need to ask. It's the year 2030 AD. Human technological advancement froze in the 1970s. That's also when the Western European plutocracy abolished the development of space travel. As for the question of where, I don't really know the details, but I know enough. This is the moon. Specifically, the legacy of an alien civilization that was discovered inside of the moon. The artificial spiritron calculation apparatus. The moon cell automaton. The holy grail that sleeps in the seas of the heavens, that the wizards, magi of the earth dream of. The moon cell automaton has no will of its own. You could call it a huge computational device. But simply, it's a supercomputer the size of the moon. Even all of the computers in the world combined wouldn't be able to compete with the moon cell. This moon cell built a virtual cyberspace inside of itself called the Seraph, gathering wizards, magi from all around the world, or rather, the Earth. This would be one of the school-styled grounds made in that Seraph. Wizards that have reached the moon compete against one another, with the last one standing invited into the moon cell's core and is given the right to use it. That is the Holy Grail, an almighty calculator with computational ability, power source, equivalent to a solar system. That's right. Masters like you came to the moon cell for the Holy Grail. That is the Holy Grail War. The weak won't reach the Holy Grail. You must surpass all others and prove yourself as the strongest. As a means to do that, the moon cell gave you all a proxy to do battle with. What was it called? Something to fight with. Something vital to a wizard. A partner to fight alongside. That is, a servant. That's right, I remember now. For making it through the preliminaries and qualifying in the Holy Grail War, the moon cell gave me command seals and a servant. A reproduction of a hero from the past as a familiar to contract with as a participating master, I think. So there's no issues up to there. Now then, I need to ask you the most important thing. The thing is, Kishinami, do you remember anything that happened during the Holy Grail War? Well, yeah, of course I do. Of course I do. Wait. I know that I'm a wizard, but I don't remember a single thing about Hakano Kishinami's past at all. Actually, why am I even participating in such a dangerous war to begin with? I thought so. Just like everyone else, you can remember who you are, but nothing about during the Holy Grail War. Calm down and listen to me, Kishinami. You're only in a state of memory loss. All you can remember is that you are a master. Memory loss. I don't really feel anything about that. But fact is, it's just as Sakura said. The only thing I can remember is that I am a master. I can remember. I was in the Holy Grail War, but nothing about what battles I fought or what opponents I defeated. There's only a little I do remember vividly. That just a bit ago, I was an ordinary high school student, going to a school different from this one. That it was swallowed up by an unknown darkness, and that I was saved from that predicament by my servant, Saber. From how you've been speaking, Kishinami, you might have been recited how you were at the start of the Holy Grail War. Since you've been in a comatose state for so long, it's possible you really only remember your own name. No, don't tell me that means it. Kishinami, do you know my name? So, Sakura asked nervously. It seems like she's wondering if I forgot about her. Her name is, of course, Head of the Infirmary, Sakura Mato, or Francis Xavier. Oh, I really want to say Francis Xavier, but I'm not going to. We'll say Sakura Mato. We can leave it for a potential future playthrough. Also, head of the infirmary is just mean. Yes, I am Sakura Mato. It's good to see you again. Oh, I'm not related to Shinji Mato at all. My surname is randomly chosen from the participants of the given Holy Grail War. At any rate, we've moved pretty quickly, but you've gotten yourself an initial look at the situation, Kishinami. This is as much as I can do for you now. I would like to help you further, but I have no help left to give. Like everyone else, my record browsing functions have been locked. I'm really sorry. Sakura bows remorsefully, rises from her chair, and moves towards the corner of the room. Hello, this is the infirmary. Kishinami has woken up. Neither his mind or body show any abnormalities. That's good to hear. Well, I know this is sudden, but please let him know I'd like him to come by. Since Kishinami has only just woken up, perhaps just a greeting would be... I apologize, but there is no room for relaxation. We're racing against time here. Besides, knowing him will go on a stroll regardless of what I say. The Hakano Kishinami I know has never been one to sit still for very long. He'll start exploring now that he's awake. Tell him that after inspecting this new old school, to come to the student council room. Sakura's transmission with that person ends. Come to the student council room. This sounds like... did you hear that the transmission just now? Yeah, I nod in answer. The way that person was speaking annoyed me, but I do need to get moving now that I'm awake. Especially since I don't know what's going on. I need a grasp on the current situation as soon as possible. Understood. After you go up to the second floor, the classroom on your left will be the student council room. Also, your servant is waiting for you in the classroom on the right side hallway on the second floor. Okay, so yeah, classroom on your left is student council, classroom on your right is where your servant is. Please make sure you don't forget to check your servant's parameters. As she says that, I look at the back of my left hand. There's one command seal left inscribed. Command seals hold absolute directive authority over servants. It's a special command that invokes all kinds of coercive power upon a servant in return for expending one. Simultaneously, they serve as proof that one is a master. When a master uses them all up, what happens again? Oh yeah, so real quick. Hakano saying there's one command seal left inscribed. First, for those new, you start with 3 command seals, and then when you give one of those absolute orders, one of them gets used up, and then, like, the color dulls, which we saw in the prologue. Like, we saw all 3 command seals getting used, I believe. But also, in Fate Extra, you canonically use 2 command seals in between rounds 3 and 4 to do a thing, to save a certain person. You have the option in-game to only use 1 command seal. You have to use 1 command seal to get to the person, and then you have to fight against an enemy, and you have the option of using a second command seal to make the fight easier. I, of course, was a gamer god, and decided against using the second command seal, but canonically you do use both command seals there. And then you only have 1 command seal for the rest of the game, and you never use it up. Because something happens when you use all of them. Whatever. What matters is that I have a proper contract with Saber. If I shut my eyes, I can clearly feel my vital source, my magical energy flowing into Saber. Saber is alright too. I want to meet with Saber soon. I'll put off going to the student council room and head directly to the classroom to my right on the second floor. Oh yeah, and keyword there is classroom to my right, which is Hakano's right, because the camera angle is going to give it weird. Reunite with your servant in the first and second year classroom. You have found an error. What are these herbs anyway? There are tons of different kinds with different properties. Dumping them all into herb without specifying what they are or what they do does not give me a good reason to use them. And so with that, Hakano Kishiyami discarded the herb. Oh yeah, if I remember, if I press start, yeah, if you hold down triangle it skips, and you press start it, triangle is hold to skip, and start is toggle to skip, where you press it once to skip and press it twice to stop skipping. It's an instrument for measuring your height and weight. I don't need to use it. Various medicines are arranged here. Handling these without any medical knowledge is very dangerous. I'll leave them be. I had Saber wait in the classroom because she was a little hard on the eyes, but she looks different from what you're used to. Waking up from a long sleep is mentally draining enough for you, so I had them wait somewhere else. Anyway, please don't be surprised, okay? An old model laptop is lying on the desk. There are no signs of it being used. Of course, I don't expect an advanced AI like Saber to have any need for such an old device. It's a simple table with a plastic tablecloth draped over it. I had to do a double take there because I was like a table with a table on it, but no tablecloth. It's a nice highlight to an otherwise drab infirmary. The shelf has a neatly lined up tea set. Places like these are where Sakura's personality seems to really show. It's a refrigerator. Since I'm quite parched, I opened the door to search for a drink. There was only medicine inside, probably the kind that has to stay chilled. These are neatly covered with pure white sheets. This level of professionalism would put even a high-class hotel to shame. The world may be vast, but people this perfect at making beds are rare. Okay. We will say floor 1. School building, first floor. We'll start from the corner. Also, we can still jump. Also, we have a different outfit, which I'm going to need to draw for the thumbnail. I try lifting up the fire extinguisher, but it's fixed to the floor, so I can't. Well, whatever. I wasn't planning on using it anyway. This is the library. If I find anything I want to investigate, it would be a good idea to come here. I take a close look at the posters on the bulletin board. I don't see any particularly useful information. Library, infirmary. There are quite a few papers posted on this bulletin board, but the text is so corrupted that it's unreadable. Yo, what the hell is this? I was in charge of arena maintenance, and now I'm suddenly in charge of watering plants. Fuck, I don't know who did this, but as soon as I get back, the Mooncell's gonna hear about this. Hey, there wasn't even an arena entrance in this building. Someone's gonna pay for this. Stomp, stomp, stomp. He is so stompy. This seems to be a storage room. There's a mess of old tools piled up inside. I don't see anything useful. Also, there's no need to go in and get myself covered in dust. This looks like a commissary. A selection of goods are on display. I was considering buying something, but the clerk's nowhere to be found. Oh well, better come back later. Over there is a commissary. You can buy various items and mystic codes there, but it looks like the clerk stepped out. He'll be back before you know it, so come back later. Written here is a list of the goods at the commissary. Apologies, sold out of Mega Hot Mapo Tofu. This is a very unique commissary. Extinguisher. Try lifting out, just fixed to the floor. This is the faculty room, but the locked door won't budge at all. I'll give up on trying to get in. On the entrance here is written restroom. No need to go in right now. Listen to me carefully. One second I become the Mimicry Club chief, the next I'm in the far side of the moon. You must have no idea what I'm on about. Me neither. I'm just an NPC after all. I leave the hard stuff to the advanced AI. Hey, are you a master? A human? So there are other humans still alive? Okay, it's not my place to say this. Give it your best. You've got some tough times ahead. Your name is Hakuno, huh? Nice to meet you. I'm NPC 510. You can also call me Goto. Anyways, let's have a good time. Regardless of whatever sort of hell this is, they say that home is where you make it. Yes. Plant. It's a decorative plant. It's pretty tall. The door seems locked. I'm curious about this room, but it might be a good idea to worry about later. Janitor's closet. Then we will go towards the entrance. And yeah, it doesn't look like I can examine this stuff. Although I'd also like to know how things are looking outside, I should start with the inside of the school building. Please don't talk to me. I'm an advanced AI in charge of cleaning. I'm at a different level than you people. Good grief, you're all filthy. This school building, you masters, and that Sakura Mato rescued you people. For a long time now, I've been advising the Moonsel that we mustn't invite humans. I predicted that this kind of bug would occur. The perfection that is the Moonsel can't generate errors. Any fault always lies with you humans. Thus, I will not cooperate with you people. I wish for a swift resolution from the Moonsel, and all elite, a sweeping purge. You still need something? Please don't talk to me, filth. Yeah. I turned on the faucet and water came out. I washed my hands. Cold water feels nice. Huh? You're all humans? The surviving masters. Hey, you're pretty lucky. Good for you. Welcome to the worst hell imaginable. This is the retro old school building. A prison with no fun whatsoever. You must already know by now. Being a master here means nothing. You and I are both prisoners. I'm a normal NPC. Galco. Nice to meet you. I was attacked by the black noise, ran around, then ended up here. Well, all of the management NPCs sweat the small stuff. We should just hang out, you know? Huh? Oh. Only one line of dialogue. After exploring the school building, come with the student council meeting, they said. But being told what to do rubbed me the wrong way. That's why I heard over here, but before I went in, I remember that Sakura said Saber was waiting for me in the classroom. I think she had to go to the classroom on the other side of the stairs. Notice from the student council. Following student council members for this school year have been decided, as shown below. The sheet ends there. Fire extinguisher. The type you can find anywhere. Nothing more, nothing less. This is the far side of the moon? We're trapped here? That's only a minus for humans. For us, it's a plus. After all, the moon cell has no control here. Masters and NPCs both have the same worth now. This just gave me a big chance to get closer to President Leo. But Mr. Julius and that servant are awful nuisances. Can't they just quietly go away? Other girl. This girl has her eyes on Leah. I warned her that she doesn't know what she's getting into, but she has a stubborn mentality. I was paired with this girl in the Holy Grail War, but who would have guessed that she was the type of predators love so much? Huh, well, it's not like I don't get how she feels. I'll stick with her until the end. Love is something that should fit just right. For me, a man with capable stats would make for a nice husband. Bulletin. A few sheets of paper posted up here, but I wasn't able to find any useful information worth mentioning. Bathroom. Restroom. Inside, it splits off into the men's and women's sides. It doesn't seem like anyone is using this room. There's no sign of anyone being inside. With this vermilion backdrop, looking at this verdant, leafy potted plant really soothed my mind. Then we go over to the other side here. Yeah, I'm sorry that there's no music, but it's just atmosphere, I guess. We'll get music in a little while, once we, get another cutscene. Several posters aimed at the students, it seems, are posted on the bulletin board. They're just filled with meaningless strings of characters. First and second year classrooms, that's where we're heading. You're a master, right? I'm just a regular NPC. I found myself in this school building. According to the AI from the infirmary, Sakura, I almost got deleted, but I escaped and made it all the way here. The far side of the moon, imaginary number spaces. They have nothing to do with me. I'm just an NPC. I'm an NPC that's just heading home. Despite all this, that won't change. I can go home whenever I want. But the sunset glow is so nice. And the Holy Grail wall, in the near side of the moon. You never see this. I'll stay a little longer. It's a fire extinguisher, the type you can find anywhere. You will get. Not gonna head home? I'm gonna enjoy myself for a little while longer here. I could go home anytime, but it's fine, right? Third year classroom. This is the third year's classroom. No one's inside. No need to go in that game. Finally. We'll save again real quick. The first and second year classroom. Wooden desks, rain floor, and retro window frames. I'm struck by a strange sense of nostalgia. This is the year 2030. I wouldn't be able to find places like this old-timey school building. I wouldn't be able to find places like this old-timey school building has here back on Earth. I've been waiting for you, Praetor. Has Sakura finished your lecture? Well then, now it's my turn. Behind me is a voice I've heard before. This spirited voice belongs to Saber. It's only been several minutes since we reunited during our fall through that starry sky. Well, for me that reunion was just a moment ago, but for all I know it could have been hours for her. My memory is still hazy, so I can't recall anything we did together during the Holy Grail War. Still, I'm happy that we get to meet again. I say good morning in response when... There, beaming with pride and standing tall, was a white saber. So what's up with the costume? I'm not sure why, but after I rescued you and fell towards the far side of the moon, I came back looking like this. It must be the effect of a system alteration. Sakura called these servant restraints, but I don't think they are. Brand new clothes are a good thing. The size is a little too small for me, though. It's, how should I put it, bursting. Bursting, she says. Not much of a surprise. She's wearing a rider suit that accentuates the lines of her body. Saber's trademark was her loose skirt. These clothes are, like... As a man, I'm not really sure where to look. As a man, you lack subtlety. A woman has new clothes on. Would it not be wise to remark on them? Apparently, Saber really wants to hear my opinion. This outfit looks good on you too. Still short as ever, I see. Or the proper answer. It looks like a wedding dress. Goodness! It really does, doesn't it? So you see it that way as well? The wedding dress comment made her really happy, huh? Saber has a wholly delighted expression. Like a child, she hops around with a spring in her step. Several seconds later, perhaps noticing me staring, Saber clears her throat with an ahem and smooths out her clothes. Ah, yes, that it is. I'm clearly a bride. I even have a pure white dress on. I've always meant to wear this one day, but it never ended up happening. Forgive me for being more excited than usual. But, well, I am surprised. It's the good kind. I never would have expected you to have such an opinion. I sigh a little with relief. Her clothes may be different, but this girl is unmistakably Saber. I may have forgotten many things, but I get the feeling that I can deal with all my fears and worries as long as she's fighting by my side. Yes, leave it to me. I am your sword, and you are my life. No matter what lies ahead, know that I'm yours. Use me as you see fit. Well, the same holds true for you, too. Now then, first we should start exploring. Well, I'd like to celebrate our grand reunion. We know nothing of our current situation. Leo is waiting in the student council room. We should get him to fill us in. Leo? I've heard that name somewhere before. According to Soccer, the student council room is on the second floor too. Let's head over quickly. Access to the main menu granted. You may access it via the triangle button. So, instead of going straight to the options menu, we now get the actual pause menu. Bam! We got status, view current status and skills, SG, option not available yet. Equip, change mystic codes, item, view items in inventory, and system. Save game and adjust settings. So we will save again. Yeah, then we have our statuses, which is, we have servant status, which Saber, HP 192, MP 78, and we have master, we have level 1, we are level 1, and we have 40 MP. Status. Arcano Kishinami, level 1. We got the Sukumihara badge, and we got the classic boys uniform. And if we chain, we can go Saber. E-rank stats across the board. Strength 15, Defense 15, Agility 15, Magic 13, Luck 15. And our costume is the Bondage Bridal Gown. No skills, no noble phantasm. Just level 1 Saber. And then let's check our items menu. Bondage Bridal Gown, outfit for Saber. A white wedding dress with restraints that Saber was wearing on the far side of the moon. Classic boys uniform. Sukumihara Academy's classic uniform. A Gakuran type boys uniform that I was wearing on the far side of the moon. Boys gym clothes. Sukumihara Academy's designated gym clothes. Sukumihara's blue shorts. So the gym clothes we get from having saved data from the extra. Men's fingers. Accessory for males. Nothing wrong with your bare hands. So yeah, that just means that like we're not wearing any gloves or anything. Oh yeah, then we can switch to the equipment page. Sukumihara badge. Increases the master's MP by 10. Sukumihara Academy's school badge. And yeah, we got that equipped. And we have 0 Sacrament SM. There's a monthly schedule drawn on the blackboard, but naturally, nothing is filled in. Stuff like classic literature, reference books, and past exams are messily arranged here. I pull a book out. It's an anthology of an author's works. Someone who wrote poems and children's stories while teaching agriculture in a poor village. The writing on the blackboard has been erased. I wonder if this blackboard was being used at some point. Still no music. Let's check. We cannot go in there yet. Head to the student council room. I don't need to save again. I've been saving enough. Student council room, let's go. Student council room differs from the other classrooms. With its lush carpeting, it gives off the feeling of a real conference room. In this greatly anachronistic wooden space was a boy in a black uniform, a young man dressed in a coat, and a young man donned in white armor. The boy in the black uniform is Leo. His uniform color may be different, but there's no way I could forget that he's my classmate. However, the other two I haven't met, I think. Yet also, I think I have. A foggy memory must mean that I was their acquaintance during the Holy Grail War. Ah, here he is. Alright, you two, together now? Good morning! Huh? Come on, you two. Please work with me here. I thought I told you to give a cheerful, lively morning greeting. So much like a student that you feel dumb enough to doubt your own brain. Let's take it from the top. 1, 2. Good morning, Kishinami. Good morning. Good morning. Leo silently smiles, coercing me for something. Do I also have to give that embarrassing greeting? Good morning! Good, that was very nice. A fitting tension for a student with a bright future. Yep, Kishinami, you're the friend I knew you were after all. We're a toast, Mabu. Julius. Tangential question, but what is Mabu? It's Japanese jargon expressing deep affection, but its meaning depends on gender. Really, where did he... What did this just turn into? Leo and these two young men are playing out an entire skit. This classmate that I know, Leo, never had such a friendly disposition, I'm pretty sure. From the looks of it, it appears that you remember who I am. Let's end a little banter here. Worry not, Hakuna. I can assure you I'm the calm, collected Leo you remember. But what a shame. If you had forgotten me, this would have been a great chance to change my persona. Should I point out how different he sounds from the old Leo when he says that? Let me start over. I've been waiting for you, Hakano Kishinami. A pleasure to meet you. I'm Leonardo Vistario Harway. You may think it odd to have introductions at this point, but it's the first time we've met in this school building. Brother, Gawain, introduce yourselves as well. I'm Julius. Right now I'm committed to supporting Leo. Sabbath, Gawain. My lord is currently exhibiting an innocence befitting his age. Thus, please excuse his slight selfishness. I sincerely hope that everyone will be tolerant. If I remember, Gawain's thing was that he had a constantly changing accent and never a consistent voice. I'll try to find a consistent voice for Gawain, but it's just so hard because he's British, but he's not British, and I already have a British guy. It's Issei, but Issei isn't actually British, and it's a whole thing. The person who called himself Julius, judging by Leo's manner of speech, seems to be Leo's older brother. They don't look alike at all, but maybe they're half-brothers. Julius seems to be a master, but I don't see a servant anywhere. I don't feel the presence of a servant nearby, nor the typical pressure of a master from Julius himself. Even if Julius' servant were to have the total disappearance skill, Julius himself wouldn't be able to hide his status. For some reason, he's a master who's lost his servant. On the other hand, it's apparent that Gawain is Leo's servant. His class is Saber, but the servant summoned in the Holy Grail War, he's at the top of the ranks. For some reason, that's one thing I couldn't call exactly. Excuse me, I've completed the first scan of the school building. There appears to be no more undiscovered masters. The girl from the infirmary, Sakura, enters the room. Leo nods, saying, "Alright," then turns back to me. Now that's the Leo V. Harway I remember. The strongest master, accompanied by the strongest servant. There's no erasing that fact, whether I remember the Holy Grail War or not. Given the situation, I figured the girls will be here somewhere. But if they're not, then leave it be. Hakano Kishinami, I had you come here for a reason. From this old school building. No, would you join us in our plan to escape from the far side of the moon? A plan to escape from the far side of the moon? Wait a second. I can't keep up with all these rapid new developments. What happened to the school building swallowed by the black noise? Why have I lost my memory? Where are we? If I can't at least get these 3 points cleared up, then I can't make a decision. Oh, you didn't receive any explanation from Sakura, I see. Would it be fine if I explained? Yes, please do. I can only speculate on all this, so an AI such as myself can't provide any explanations. Of course, an AI can only provide masters with information they deem to be true. Restriction from the moon self, yes. Alright then, Hakuno, please ask your questions. About the school swallowed by darkness. Here's the scene I just saw Leo in. Leo, Shinji, and I were classmates. I explained how that after a sudden announcement, the people inside the school building were swallowed by darkness and disappeared. We were classmates at school. That must be the extended preliminaries. Strange, it was different for me. I only faintly remember, but I was attacked during the Holy Grail War by black slime. When I came to, I found myself here. Probably, before the school was attacked, and that through the preliminaries broke out of the school you were in, Hakuna. Sakura, may I explain the preliminaries system? There's no issue, I think. Outside of this system here, in case Johnny is through the preliminaries. Then I will. The Holy Grail War is a preliminary and a final selection. The wizards who access the moon from Earth first had their memories taken from them and were then given false personals. An ordinary student from the year 2000. That's the role we were given, do you remember? I see. The feeling of being suddenly abandoned by the world was due to me believing the role that the Moonstone imposed on me was my current occupation. Only wizards who regained their true self after sensing discomfort in that role became masters and acquired servants. It would be strange if you didn't pass the preliminaries to contract to a servant. That's why I would have expected you to have been attacked during the final selection just like me. Do you not remember? No. I only remember the day-to-day of the preliminaries, that abyssal darkness, and my servant kept calling out to me. May I, Leo? After Leo felt here, he awoke immediately, but since Hakuna was asleep for so long, it means that while you were comatose, what Leo calls the Black Unknown has been holding your soul captive for a long time. Thus, while you were afflicted by that long nightmare, your memories of the final selection were erased, swallowed perhaps. The preliminaries you spoke of were a mix of dreams and reality that once was. Likely, those preliminaries were fabricated. Fabricated preliminaries? Then, that Shinji and Leo were both just dreams. No, since each character's default configuration, personality, was reproduced from my past memories, that was just the final sight of the school building. Then was just the final sight of the school building being swallowed a dream. Even so, there was that fall at the end. The chill of that empty darkness was definitely no dream. That has to be it, Kishinami. You were captured by a monster during the Holy Grail War and were imprisoned until now. The black space you saw in your dream was the inside of that monster that swallowed you, something like that. Inside of a monster, that endlessly stretching space devoid of amusements. This is the electronic ocean. Maybe that's what it's like to be taken in as data by another being, but it's sounding increasingly repulsive. We were caught by a monster possessing that kind of darkness. Alright then, Hakuna? Why am I making Leo Italian now? Alright then, Hakuna. Please ask your questions. About my memory loss. My lost memory. Ask about why I've lost my memory. It's not just you. Leo and the rest of the masters in this building suffer the same. Yes, all of us have lost the memories of the Holy Grail War. I only remember my servant and the data of those I fought in battle. I, for example, can confirm that I hadn't lost yet, but I don't know how many rounds I got through. Also, I have an admittedly concerning interest in you, Hakuna, but I've forgotten the reason for that interest. I'm embarrassed to say that's... water. That should help. I'm embarrassed to say that the same applies to me. Likewise for your servants as well. I recall all that I've done with my master, Leo, but I cannot clearly recall anything else. Yes, right after passing the preliminaries, the master's mental states and memories reverted to that of the first round. And because Kishinama was in such a long coma, I had a worse case of memory loss, more so than Leo and the others. So basically, I can't recall any sequence of events from the Holy Grail War or my background as a wizard. It was obvious, but the truth of it still sent a chill down my spine. The fear that only I had lost my memories has died down. But nevertheless, not being able to recall who I used to be leaves me terribly uncomfortable. Brother, you have some comment for Hakuna. No, nothing really. I was also trying to remember something. Now that you ask, this man always acted like this in a pinch. Seems like something happened long ago. In any case, there must be a connection between our lost memories and being in this old school building. Logically, our abnormally lost memories should return to us if we analyze this abnormal situation. Alright then, Hagano, please ask your questions. About where we are. Where are we? Is this unfamiliar wooden school building a part of the Seraph? It's part of the Seraph, but it's not where we were before. This is the far side of the moon, a place outside of the Holy Grail War. The Seraph is a virtual reality constructed by the Moon Cell to advance the Holy Grail War. However, the Moon Cell can't see us here. We're in a blind spot of the wall, so to speak. Go in, bring it up. Here, Leo. Thinking this might happen, I prepared my WKTK diagram. Leo, WKTK is slang that expresses one's mental state. It's not diagram terminology. It's WKTK diagram, brother. You were the one who got riled up, saying that a Gothic font for this diagram would look cooler than a proportional font here, no? I was hoping to make it easier to read. I like the occasional style and remix. I see. I hate to say this, but weren't the teams you commanded over just 14-year-old students in that school? Well, let's get back on topic. As shown in the diagram, we're currently in the far side of the moon. The Holy Grail War happens over in the near side of the moon. Basically, we fell from the near side to the far side. Actually, that unknown black noise dropped us over to the far side. That's naturally how to think of it. Sakura, please explain. Okay. So, this is the far side of the moon set. Originally, this was a sealed information warehouse not to be used. The moon cell is a recorder that uses light to store and doesn't rely on matter, but this is a high dimension where that light is jumbled. Manipulated information, even imaginary numbers, materialize as sources here. This is a place outside the world, space. If the moon cell's core is a light-trapping cage of the faithful, then this is a garden of the fallen made of imaginary numbers. An absolutely forbidden area where intelligent life must never enter. Even as advanced AI are unable to enter the far side. Well, since we're here now, it's not very absolute or forbidden, is it? Leo lets out a cheerful ha ha ha. Next to him, Gawain and Julius were grim expressions. However, seeing that they're deliberately not complaining means that they've embraced Leo's sudden change in attitude. This is just my guess, but maybe Leo, not free from his status, wants to live this kind of life as a student, or has always wanted to. At any rate, we've awoken in a dangerous area. The same happened to us NPCs. We were consumed along with the masters in the final selection. Those who survived are left. The far side of the moon. This is the first time I've heard of such a space, but certainly, the Holy Grail War is a journey from the surface of the moon to its center. Since the moon is circular, it wouldn't be strange for another stage to be behind the core. The question is probably whether we can leave here or not. True, this old school building appears safe, but there's no proof as to how long that'll last. And more, the outside of the school building is a black ocean, probably disintegrate the moment you touch it. So now you understand the situation. Now then, time for my questions. The far side of the moon, lost memories, the mystery of the old school building, an exitless world, those of us that are left. In these circumstances, what should we do? Escape and return to the Holy Grail War? It's obvious. No matter what circumstances we're in, we have to get back to the Holy Grail War. I have yet to recover anything. The memories of who I am, how I joined this battle, the ideals I have for obtaining the Holy Grail. I'm still empty. I bet. Regardless of if we're enemies of the Holy Grail War, we have to help each other now. That's the kind of man you are. I agree. That's the best goal. Saber will be delighted to hear this, I'm sure. An answer above my expectations. This begins our united front. Until we return to the Holy Grail War? No. Until we escape from the far side of the moon, we're allies. Now then, in the name of Leo B. Harway, I declare here the founding of the Sukumihara Academy Student Council. His declaration was filled with strong determination. I'm not so sure about the name, but under this commander, we can overcome any hardship. He's enough to inspire our hope of such. However, we have our first issue. If we don't clear it, we won't even be able to work out an escape plan. It's very difficult to say this, but we could use a few more people. Huh? We only have me and the president, my brother the secretary, Gawain the old manservant, and Hakuno of general affairs. I can't call this the student council I've always dreamed of. No, how could I call it so? Student councils are far more brilliant, filled with the aroma of youth, constantly causing trouble. Why so, my lord? I was thinking that adding more flowers would look nice, whatever the kind. With this being the case, please scout some more members. At the very least, I would say a vice president and a secretary are required. Some masters in the same boat as us are in the building, so please scout top to bottom for talented people. The talk ends there. Leo's first order is to recruit. He says I need to help launch the student council by finding other masters in the school building, then persuading them to join. Is this really a good idea, Leo? I'll be assisting everyone from here on out, specifically as an OS that executes and supports President Leo's operations. Currently, I'm using Root to also serve as the main CPU that makes up the old school building. Thus, regretfully, I have the infirmary closed. In case of an emergency, I'll open the infirmary right back up if anyone needs it, so please don't worry. Oh wait, So yeah, Sakura is like physically keeping the school building up. It looks like a garbage bin, but there's nothing inside. Books are tightly lined up all the way to the ceiling. Oh, no, tightly lined up all the way to the ceiling. A large assortment of genres are here, like history, literature, and economics. From among them, one stands out. Introduction to Curry for Dummies. I'm not sure why, but I'm sad now. Between the books, I find a history of Sukumihara Academy. Worn out pictures of the school I printed in it. I miss my peaceful life as a student, just a little. But no, I didn't want to leave. No, I didn't want to leave, no! Bring me back. Many books are stored in this shelf. They all look exceedingly complicated. From the corner of my eye, I feel like I saw this string of letters. My little sister can't be this type conceited. I dare not check. First thing to do is recruit. You can't have rich student council activities without talented members. And maybe, no, it is mundane, but it's also a critical duty. I hope to see your splendid persuasive skills in action, Hakuno. I shall introduce myself once more. I am my King Leo's servant. My name is Gawain. We clashed in the Holy Grail War, but this is the far side of the moon. With the same aim, let us be as passing good comrades. You may think Leo is an imposter, but that there, without a doubt, is the real thing. Just trust me on this. A variety of information is displayed here. However, it's really tough to read from this close up. It would help to back up a bit, I guess. I wonder if there are any cleaning supplies here. Julius sweeping up the student council room with a broom or dust cloth, or Gawain. I kinda wanna see them doing that stuff. And we'll go back to the hallway. And with that, I will end it for today. Thank you all for watching. We're slowly getting to actual progress. Oh yeah, thanks for watching. Hope to see you all next time. Bada bing, bada boom. Meet you there. Have a wonderful day. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye. Bye.